These are widows of recent attack that was carried out by terrorist elements who came and operate under the guise of Fulani militants.
The real terrorist is in the Azovilla. The headquarters of Boko Haram is the same address of Tinubu.
We can continue to buy arms and ammunition and platforms from other countries, but that is not the way to go in the long run.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Plan B TV News Gist and Blog. I came across this particular video and I decided to make other videos to tell the story. Now, in this particular video from Masarakim, he briefed Nigerians about the insecurity that is happening in the north. But I don't just want to explain, I want you guys to watch this particular video. We'll be right back.
These are widows of recent attack that was carried out by terrorist elements who came and operate under the guise of Fulani militants at Atasho village of Fan district in Barikiladi local government of Plateau State, Nigeria. And these are people, these are just a few that were able to come. Others could not even gather the gut and the momentum to be able to be featured here because of the traumatic situation they found themselves in. These are the only few that were able to gather courage to come and be prayed for by the team of Jos City Crusade that is ongoing on the plateau. And you can see these are orphans whose number is on daily basis increasing. These are widows whose number is on the daily basis is increasing. And there is no any intervention that has reached out to these people, even the previous or not to even talk of them. This is a situation we found ourselves in. These are members of human family created by God with full fundamental right to enjoy. But someone who has come overnight, who has taken over their lands, who has destroyed the few farms that were spared at their backyard for the feeding of these children. Now, they have now become more of internally displaced persons in their own land. They have become widows and orphans in their own land. I wonder if there had ever been a generation like this from the creation of the earth. That there is a system in place, there's a constituted authority, there are agencies that have been established by law and are saddled with responsibility of protecting lives and property of every individual, every Nigerian. But the terrorists have been allowed to have their field day, and their location, their base are all known, and nobody is saying anything about it. Just for cows to be given, right more than human beings. And the cows that they will go and steal their cows, rustle their cows, kill their cows, and poison their cows, and shift it on the natives who are innocent, who don't know anything. And nobody's talking about the cattle of the natives which were rustled even last week by the bandits, by the terrorist element. Nobody's talking about that. These women, if they are able to survive the Fulanis and the terrorist attack, they will not survive hunger that has already set in. These are the two things. Their farmlands have been destroyed overnight in broad daylight. Now, having survived with a few remaining farmlands that were harvested, the breadwinners are no longer alive. Murdered in one night. Not that they've committed any crime. Not that they were found in a scene of any incident of attack, or not that they went to attack anybody. Because the system has not taken care of the socio-economic needs of the people. They will have to go out to source out for means of livelihood. And today, the story has changed. This is terrorism. That you wake up overnight, your farm crops have already been eaten up. You wake up overnight, and you hear the whole community has been overrun by one particular tribe that has held Nigeria into ransom. Terrorism is there, banditry is there, kidnapping is there, and what have you, raping and defilement of women and young children is also there. If it is a farmers' herders farmers clash, Why were 4 children killed in Dorong? Minors were killed by herders. If it were, this now justify that this is a herders farmers clash. If it were a herders farmers clash, why were 86 people killed in 2018 in Ngar village in broad daylight in the presence of the security agents, even dispossessing a security man of his rifle, and nobody is saying anything? If it's a herders farmers clash, why are villages and communities being taken over and overrun by terrorist elements who come in the operation, who come under the guise of Fulani Herdsmen, and nobody is doing anything? If it's a clash, why are the two parties not coming on, to the dialogue table and settle? Who then owns the land? Who owns the cows? Even the few natives that are rearing cows are not also spared. That's why in last week, before this particular program was meted around these people, cattle belongs to Dazi here at Inding Sisut, a native community, were rustled by the bandits. We've not heard of any arrests. We've not heard of any effort tracing and trailing the people that perpetrated that. But whenever they have already concluded their plans to unleash terror on the native inhabitants, they will always frame up false allegations that the people had poisoned their cows. And then, unfortunately, that youth leaders of communities that are near the Fulani settlement are then arrested and detained by Nigerian military unjustly. And then today, 12 people were buried day before yesterday. We've not heard of any arrest. We've not heard of any investigation ongoing. No. This is an outright collusion as far as this conspiracy of silence we are seeing on the part of security agents. Fulani also farm crops. And we've never had a day where the Fulanis will go and mischievously graze on their fellow Fulani farmland. If that had happened elsewhere or had ever happened on the plateau, then we'll now say it is a herders farmers clash. Why is there no clash between the Fulanis who rear cows and the Fulani who cultivate the lands that have been grabbed? Why have there not been a clash between the natives who own cows, who have cows, and the natives that are into crop farming? It is a ploy that was coined. It is a term that was coined by the merchants and the sponsors of this terrorism to justify and to give the Fulani a leeway of unleashing terror on the natives so that the world will be misinformed and misled as to the rationale behind this, attacks and killing.
This is just a tips of what is happening in Nigeria. Lots more and much more of it is happening across the nation, and most of people are not aware. The fact that it's not happening in your society does not make you believe that it's not happening at all. Though the fact that it's happening in your environment does not also make you believe that it's happening everywhere. Some are safe, some are not safe, but we must look for a way to eradicate all those things. Do you know that the security agencies is not helping issue? The reason I'm saying this particular thing is that I watched this particular video from Safari TV. What this man briefed, and I said yes. He said that the real terrorists are in Aso Rock, according to him, word to word, that the real Boko Haram in Aso Rock that they stay. He's not accusing the president, but he said they are well surrounded, like they are working as an official around the president. Those are the people that take information that give to the ones in the forest. I want you guys to listen.
The real terrorist is the Aso Villa. The headquarters of Boko Haram is the same address of Tinubu. So if you post a letter to Tinubu, if it doesn't come out on time, Boko Haram will collect the letter and read it and pass it to him. They live together, they work together, they plan together, and they share together.
How do you mean that the headquarters, the address is at the villa?
Because the villa, the state house, is where all this criminality is being planned. If you deceive yourself and think that Nigerian army cannot defeat the terrorists, then you don't know Nigerian army. Try and whistle at the wife of a general, and you see how the entire barrack will descend on you. Try and a home minister of LCT could not collect one plot of land. You saw how that Navy captain stood his ground there, telling Wike, yes, you are not coming here. Imagine if every captain stood their ground and said terrorists not entering Nigeria like that. If the armed forces strong enough to stop a minister who is representing the president from misbehaving on the land that he has interest, say, I have my orders. So are you telling me if the president of Nigeria gives an order that the whole of Lagos State should be evacuated, the army in Lagos will evacuate everybody? If they give an order that the whole of Kano State should be evacuated, the army has enough capacity to evacuate the whole state. The president made a proclamation, and the entire government house was forcibly evacuated in one day. So you are telling me that the president wants to end this thing, he will not end it, but their political money is tied to it. And if you think maybe because I don't like them, which I don't pretend about that, go and read the EFCC reports on what Jonathan did with the money he borrowed in the name of fighting Boko Haram. You are a journalist. You saw the trials. You saw the investigation. Who was collecting the money? The money was shared to politicians, girlfriends, contractors, or let's say we're even a nation of cripples. That sometimes in the past, there was no proper polio vaccination. A majority of Nigerians are crippled, we have no leg. We have enough resources to hire machinery to kill Boko Haram and terrorists and bandits.
But do you know that even the Americans are complaining that anytime they want to carry out some certain operation in Nigeria, even before they get to where those people are, as long as Nigeria is a sovereign nation, they have to brief the security people on ground and say, okay, we want to do this to you. Before they even get there, they have given those people information. So who are those that are in the Aso Rock? That anytime that they want to carry out security operation, that the Boko Haram will be fully briefed and they will be fully ready ahead of those that are coming to buy them. In fact, they will even ambush them in most cases. Anyway, I want you guys to watch this particular video from this they're talking about national issue, but for Channel Television, what this guy said about the security agencies, and I want you guys to watch. We'll be right back.
Is that you are saying we don't necessarily need more, because the president has now ordered, get more people employed, get more people recruited. But you disagree.
So Nigeria keeps asking the wrong questions. How many policemen do we need? Rather, the question should be asking, how well are the policemen we already have funded to operate? That's the question to ask. And if we go with that question, we just take a look at police overhead budget. So it's 94 billion in 2025. We have 14,362 police stations. If you average these 14,000 police facilities, we just took a rough average. It's not done to the size of the police stations. It means that each police station in Nigeria will get 552,000 naira per month.
This is overhead.
Overhead. Yeah. Because you see, what makes police work is overhead, not salary, not capital. Yeah. The amount of money we spend for fueling, for digital work, for communication, for utilities, that's what makes police work. So let's go to the next slide. So if you look at the police budget, what it means is that fuel and lubricant for the police is 158,000 naira a month for each police station. That is 8 liters a day for each police station. If you look at training, it's 158,000 naira a year for training the whole policemen in one police station. You have 158,000. So if you go by policeman, it's less than 1,000 naira to train one policeman.
So with this money,
1.2. What would this money?
In Nigeria,
2 million per station per annum. What will it do for them? So when you call the police and they say, "Come and get us," there's armed robbery going on in our place, they can't come. They have 8 liters of fuel. They have 1.2 million to do maintenance. If you go and service a car today and change the tires, the money is gone in 1 month. There's no more money for maintenance. So one breakdown or one extended patrol can wipe out the station's annual allocation. Gone. If you change the engine of a Hilux, the money is gone. So
you are assuming, Mr.
that the money got to them.
That's on one hand. You're assuming that each of the police stations has a truck or a vehicle.
We're assuming that they have a vehicle.
But that's not the actual. That's not the reality.
That's not the reality. So the insight, Nigeria is not under-policed. Nigeria is underfunded at the point of action. At the point where the police is going to act, when you go to police station now, you buy your own stationaries to write the statement. You buy your own pen to write the statement. If you are detained by the police, you buy your own medicine, you buy your own food. Anything that you are doing with the police, you have to fund it because they are acutely underfunded. They do not have bullets because the cost, the money that was voted for capital, if you look at it, we're going to come there. You will see how it's going. So we are not under-policed, we're underfunded.
Now you listen to what he said. He did it handed. Now let's talk about the Minister of Information. When he was talking about insecurity, if you know that you are a Boko Haram or if you are sponsoring them, you are harboring them, you are defending them, we will come after you, we will make sure we arrest you, we will do this. Anyway, I want you guys to watch. We'll be right back.
Fit them. Let me clear about what this means. That henceforth, any armed group that kidnaps our children, that attacks our farmers, that terrorizes our communities, is officially classified and will be dealt with as a terrorist organization. Any individual or any group. This is the declaration that Mr. President has made. Now, the era of ambiguous nomenclature is over. If you terrorize our people, whether you are a group or you are an individual, you are a terrorist and you'll be classified as such. There is no any name hiding under this again.
When he said all of this, I just laughed because I know that who they are looking for are not those in the north, are not even those in the forest. The people they are looking for is just somebody like Ebuka, Emeka, Ifeanyi, all those people, you know, Shuku, Ebuka, all these people that bear Igbo name. Those are the people they want to use to set an example. But if they see Abdullahi, they see Mohammed, if they see Aliyu, all those people, no, they say, no, this one, I know, say, he just thought this name, but he's not really going to do it. They don't talk. They don't care. They don't want to take action on those people that they should take action on, but they are looking for somebody else. The reason I'm saying this thing, because immediately he made this statement, Shai Gumi released his own statement. Though we talked about it before, but I want you guys to listen again.
They are going nowhere. They are part of us and we are part of them. We must live with them. You can't drive them away, and they can't drive us away. They are our neighbors, so we should never allow them to be our enemies. And if by any mistakes, by our actions, we have turned them into enemies, then we are finished. Because our real enemy will use them against us. As your real enemy will use your neighbor against you. And nobody knows your secret more than your neighbor. He knows when you come back and when you go out. So we should never allow herdsmen to be our enemies.
Shai Gumi said this. For Shai Gumi to say this, in a normal law, according to what Minister of Information said, it simply means that you are trying to protect these Fulani herdsmen that are buying Nigeria. You are trying to say that nobody should harm them. Nobody should chase them away. And the Minister of Information is saying that the president gave order that anybody that is protecting these people, that is heading them, trying to robust them, those are also accomplices. They will be arrested, but nobody arrested Shai Gumi. In fact, Shai Gumi make another separate video again. Talks about nobody can chase the Fulani away from Nigeria. He makes another video and another video, and we don't want to hide it here. We'll post about it, we'll talk about it. If you have been following us up, you will know that definitely we have made several videos about Shai Gumi. Now, to take it further, I saw this particular video of David Mark when he was talking about this insecurity and what is happening in Nigeria in the Senate House, when he was giving some remarkable speech, but I want you guys to watch.
We can continue to buy arms and ammunition and platforms from other countries, but that is not the way to go in the long run. Because we bought the Super Tucanos. What happened? So the sensors that we needed on those Super Tucanos were not made available. We have therefore every reason to devote so much resources and make the right policies and legislations for DICON, the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, based in Kaduna, to function. The president, when he came into office, the Daikon Act was one of the first acts he signed. And today, we have some companies that have to do with defense industries trying to come into Nigeria.
Now, do you know that it is one thing to say something, it is another thing to do or take the action? Nigerian government has been talking and they will say this and say this and they say this, and at the end of the day, they will do nothing. They will definitely do nothing. As long as this thing affects the North, that they are involved in buying those people, carrying out all this ISBAN, ISWAP, Al-Qaeda's, Jihadists, Boko Haram, Fulani Herdsmen, all these people, even ISIS, almost about 7 or 8 of them. There are other names they call them. There are almost about 10 groups. All of this is not a problem to Nigeria. The only thing that this government care is IPOB, just one IPOB. They want to make sure they wipe IPOB out of the entirety of Nigeria. They don't just want to use it to hear that name, even when IPOB is operating in their own territory. Now, have you ever imagined on the other ends? I'm just saying that IPOB, I'm not trying to call them terrorists, I'm just saying IPOB are the one in the forest all over Nigeria, going after mosque or church, doing all those kind of things that is happening in Nigeria. Just imagine on your own head that they are the one doing it. What action do you think that the federal government would have taken by now? Do you even think that there will be a living soul in the southeast? They will just come operation, wipe them all out. Only as small picking as women, and they will leave. Wipe all the youth out in order for them to prove points. That will be the only action they will take because they are the ones sitting in power. Anyway, I rest my case here. But before we go, I want you guys to watch this particular video of Showore when we were talking about the insecurity, that everybody is focusing on the military. Why is it that nobody is talking about the Navy? Is it like the soldiers that is supposed to carry out this operation? I thought it's a joint task force. Whenever you have to do with insurgency that have to do with a life threatening against the country, it's supposed to be the soldiers and the Navy and the Air Force. These are the 3 people that majorly fight all those kind of war that they are fighting. Why is it like we're all focused on the soldiers? I want you guys to watch.
We're seeing the police and army today failing, the DSS failing. We are not asked about the Nigerian Navy. Do you know that the job of the Nigerian Navy has been contracted out in this country to a private company? Do you know that? The Navy cannot operate in up to 35% of Nigeria waterways. The entire Niger Delta region, the Navy has no power whatsoever to intercept boats, ships, canoes leaving and entering Nigeria waterways or coming to land. It's only in Lagos that they have that capacity or right. In Niger Delta region, it's privatized.
Of a truth, it makes a lot of points. Everybody's calling on this military, and the military sacrifice that people pass. Hardly you even hear anything happen to those. I'm not praying that anything should happen to anybody, but we are saying that why is it that our focus is on the military, and the military have sacrificed more to keep the peace of this nation than any other thing? Anyway, I will rest my case here. I'll be waiting for you guys in the comment section to tell me your thoughts. What are your take about this particular video you just watched? Let me know in the comment section. I love you. God love you more. Until we meet again, stay tuned from BTV. Peace out.
I heard from school that there was an attack ongoing over there. So I tried calling, their number was not connecting. So later on, their line was switched off, and then it was in the morning because we tried even attempting going there to check what was really happening, if it was true that an attack was going on there. So we heard that it was really serious, so we can't go there. And my brother and I tried to check up on them again in the morning. So we called their line. It was some of our community women that picked his call, and then they were just crying. My dad is a clergyman. He served at Hurti community of Manguna district. I was in school, so my mom and dad were home, and on a broad daylight around 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they were just sitting under the shade of a tree around the compound. So when the attackers came, they bought like they both tried to escape. So my mom ran into the compound, and then they go ahead and killed my dad there at the backyard of the house. When they picked his call, they didn't told me directly that he was killed. They just say they didn't see him, so maybe he ran somewhere. So they didn't want to like just say it directly. And then they told my brother that he was killed. They knew that he can bear it at that moment. So my brother just took me home, and then that was when I realized that the the incident was real. Like, he was really killed. He was brutally killed at the backyard. And then we could not even see his corpse because he was buried over there in a mass burial. So we didn't even bury him. So it pained me a lot. Like, I really wanted to see his corpse, or maybe I can even get relief to some extent. But just like that, now it just seemed to me as if he disappeared or something.
I'm here to say whatever you have placed in their hearts, that it will comfort the people of this locality in the name of Jesus.